Hello everyone and welcome to Caroline's Craft Tree. Today I am just going to show you a little more about the pin embroidery. This is video number 2, and in video 1 I talked about some of the things that I use, so you can go back and refer to that, but the tools are very simple. Today we're going to deal with squares. So, as with the circles that we did, working in the clockwise, you do the same with a square. And here I have some samples. These are a little bit different, but the principle is the same. You in each one you get that little V in each hole when you go all the way around and moving in the clockwise. And again, 1 to 5. This is the 16th hole. This is the 21st hole. This one is a little bit different because I've done it in 2 sections. And this is the one that I'm going to show you a sample of today. So I've done each corner just by going from corner to corner and only doing the 2 sides, which gives you a nice little effect. So here are some samples. This is the one doing corner to corner, but I did all 4 corners. And each corner is a different color, and I really thought that turned out really cute. And this will be what will show you today in the tutorial. And this one here is using the 1 to 16 hole. And then on the inside I did a circle the same way we did tutorial number 1, and in the middle I did a smaller circle, again the same way we did in the circle tutorial. So then there is this one, which in the middle is a resined flower. So that one turned out kind of cute. And then this one, I'm hoping, it looks like it's showing up. I did the corner to corner just to give it, and with a little patch thing in the middle of a lady, which turned out kind of nice. The paper had gold polka dots on it, so I used gold thread on it. So the possibilities are endless with these. So, and also I did this, which there will be a link below on where you could download this. It's going to just be a JPEG. But there's the circle I used, the square that I'm using. We're going to do some work with a heart and a oval as well. And we're also going to do 4 different flower ones, because each one kind of has a couple different techniques and whatnot. So it'll give you a good idea. So all that you need to do is print this out, cut these out, and then you lay them on top of your piece of cardstock, and then you have your template on where to poke your holes. So hopefully you will find that useful. So let's get started. So there's my square template. It is a 2-inch square. And I did use a punch to punch these out just because I had one, but a square is pretty easy to draw out and do, so I've got that. And we're going to work on this. So let's start with some blue thread. So I'm going to come up in one of the corners. Oops. Let's just get a little piece of tape here. And we'll tape that down. So now I am going to go to this edge here. So I've come up in that corner, I'm going down in this corner. And again, going to move in that clockwise position. And then I try because this thread is going right across all my dots, as you can see. So I try to put my needle on this side and go down my hole. You don't need to, it's not vital or anything like that. It's just a preference of mine. So now I'm going to work in that clockwise until I get down to the other corner. Now because your holes are kind of covered up by other thread, sorry if I'm off of camera, so yeah, sometimes these holes are a little tricky to see because your thread is over them. I keep wanting to pull my work close to me, and I can't do that because then you guys can't see, and it's more important that you guys see. So I'm going to keep going until I get all the way to this corner down here. These take a little bit longer to do, and of course more thread because I'm dealing with a bigger item than the circles, but you can do these any size whatsoever, little tiny to great big. Almost done this side. On the last one, okay, now I can get my tape and I can tape that end. And again, it doesn't really matter what the back looks like because of the fact it's going to be all covered up. So there we have one of the corners to corner. So now the next one, I'm going to just turn it and I'm going to start it in this corner, go to this corner and then all the way down to that corner. Because there's my blue. Now we're going to do the red and the yellow and then the orange. Now you could easily do 2, you could do 3, you could just do 1 on the corner. I've done a similar design on the corner of envelopes and whatnot. So let's grab some of the red. I just thought the rainbow colors looked kind of nice in there, I thought. And then I had some butterfly buttons, so I just put one of those on there and done. So now, as I say, I'm going to start in this corner. Okay. And let's tack that end down. Okay, and now to start it, I'm going to go from that corner to this corner. So if I was only going to do 2 of these things, I would start there, go to there, finish off there. But because I want to do 4 sides, so now we're going to do the same thing as we did with the blue, but we're going to do it on this side. And back and forth, going in a clockwise. And we will just keep going until we get down to the other corner. Okay, now that the red is all done, we're going to go on to yellow, and we're going to come up in this side here. And we can tape down the back. And then our first time going down is going to be in there, because it's going to be the same as the last two, going in the clockwise direction. And we're going to go all the way down till we end up in there. So I'll be back in a minute once I get that done. Okay, I'm back. I've got the yellow done, so now we just need to do our orange. So we need to do it a little bit different, so that way we don't cover up more of that fourth color. So we're still going to come up in this hole here, so the widest part of the yellow. We're going to bring our orange up there. So let's fasten that down. And if you have any questions about this, please let me know. Contact me on Facebook or Etsy or anywhere. So now we are going to go down in that corner like we've done. And then we are going to come up. We're still going to be working in our clockwise. And then we're going to go over and down and up like we've been doing. I want to try and get that on the outside. So now this is where it changes. So I want to go under my blue thread, in between that hole and that hole. Hopefully you can see that. So I'm going under my thread, I'm going to pull my thread through, and then I'm going to drop it down the hole. That way my orange thread is under my blue thread. Because each one of these, we have the long part, the wide part, and then it goes under the other color. Okay, so now when we come up, I just slant my needle like so. And that usually, hopefully that's going to show up. Usually that will get it to the outside of my blue thread. Now I'm going to go back underneath, pull my thread, then go to my next hole. Like so. Now back up. Again, I'm going to try slanting my needle as much as I can to get it on the outside of all my threads there. Got to knot my thread. Still got a knot. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to go underneath from my last hole and the other hole. So when I go underneath, I'm going underneath the threads that are between the holes. So I'm going to pull that through, and then I'm going to go down the next hole there. Hopefully the camera's picking all this up. Now I'm going to go back through the other hole, again pushing my needle at an angle. And then I'm going under the thread in between that hole that I came up, or went down there and I came up there. So I'm pushing it in the threads that are between those two holes. Pulling it through, going into this one over here. Now you can see how that's going to be underneath the blue but over top of the yellow. Now you can just do your regular stitch. That's totally up to you. This is just the way that I like to do it. Just because I'm picky like that. Okay, and underneath my thread, again, always working with this, going under the threads that are between the two holes that I'm going to work on. Once you do a couple of these, as I say, they will go faster. Okay, and underneath and between the two holes I'm going to be working on. Underneath between the two holes. Only a few more left and we will be done. I do hope that you will stitch along with these and give it a try. Again, underneath the threads. You can see a little better on where the needle is now in between the holes here that I'm working on. That's the one I've done, and this is the one I'm going to go down. And sometimes this sounds more difficult than it actually is. And as I say, if you've got any questions, if you're having difficulties, please contact me. I will do my best to help. I might not know all the answers, but okay, we're almost to the end. And again, we're going to keep going underneath. Okay, this is going to be the last one. And we're still going underneath. And then there you have it, the rainbow colors in each of the corners. And that's just using a square. Okay, let's put our tape on that. And cut it off. Just so. There we have the two, the one that I did before and the one that we just did. How you decorate the middle is all up to you, whether you want to do more pin stitching there or put something such as the butterfly. So that's a square. Check out the circles that we did. So I will leave a link to that below. So there's the circle ones. And remember to download your little JPEG template for them. And we're going to do some hearts and some ovals in the next video. But I did want to show you a few things that I've been working on with the pin stitching. There is some lavender. It's going to be a journaling card. There's my back, which is not neat at all. I'll back that with some tea stain paper. We've got a little mouse crawling up some grass. Now these patterns here I did buy, so I can't show you really how I did those because of that, but this one's not quite done. I've got to do the threads yet. This is a dragonfly, and hopefully it shows up, but I did the wings in a metallic, almost like a mother of pearl thread, and it looks really, really awesome. So hopefully it shows up. So here's another one, but I used a pink metallic for his wings. So I'm really liking that metallic. Here's a ladybug. I believe this one I found somewhere online. And if you look, there's lots of free patterns for different things. And here is a butterfly, and he has beads on him. Now the bead body is really easy to do. You can look at my other stitching videos, and I actually show how to put beads on just when you're doing a straight line. So those are just a few things that you can do with them. I really, really like doing it. So, and as I say, go download your little template JPEG there so you can stitch along, and we'll see you again soon in the next part of this pin embroidery stitching. Bye for now.